Hello, welcome back to Smile Soul Power. I'm Michelle Marie Angel, and I have a special guest here tonight, Gail of Gaia. And she is, oh my gosh, she does such great videos. I've been watching her videos, and we are going to talk, but this time we're going to talk about Gail's channel on YouTube. And so, do you want to introduce yourself, Gail, and tell us what happened to your channel on YouTube?
Yes, I'll be more than happy to tell you. It's been a very unpleasant experience, I must say. I woke up one morning and poof, no YouTube channel, no videos, no anything. It said that, 404 error kind of thing there. And it was pretty devastating. That's at least 5 or 6 years of work, nearly 500 videos.
Do they provide backups of those videos? Do they record them and give you backups or anything?
They gave me absolutely nothing. Okay. Now I have some videos because I'm on other channels, but I haven't always been on other channels because that requires that you have to upload them on all those different channels. And,
Right.
it's time consuming. And if you want to do other shows, it takes time to put it on a bunch of different platforms, which is why I started doing live videos, because they go out to different platforms. But all of that is lost. All of it is gone. They
Isn't
don't.
that like stealing intellectual property?
I absolutely, completely believe that it is.
Hmm.
It's theft, corporate theft,
Well,
and
what do you think the reason is they took your channel down? I've heard of this before, and I've watched some of the channels that they took down, and I don't see any real reason of anything bad that was on those channels. Why do you think they took your channel down?
I think we have a very communist leaning tech that is take AI that is taking any channel down that hears certain trigger words. If you have the least, you cannot challenge the official narrative. If you do, you're going down. If you say certain words, the V word or the C word, or mention certain people's names, and boom, they get you.
You
And
know what? I know what you mean. I've seen people walking on eggshells and making gestures instead of saying words, and which is strange because I thought we lived in the United States of America with, free speech.
yes, and it's actually the United States for America. That's the original republic. When they put in the of America is when they actually threw in that corporate status, which is now supposed to be um, dissolved.
Yeah,
But
going back to the Republic and the original Constitution is what I've been hearing.
yes, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Which just further proves that all this time we've been operating under a very diabolical system where we the people always lose. I mean, you go to court and most people lose or pay fines or what have you. And now they're programming our children and so on. I better not get too carried away, because why can't we talk about this stuff?
Yeah.
Why are we being censored at a phenomenal rate?
We should be able to think freely, speak freely, and share ideas freely. And to me, that's God's universal law. And to me, that was written into our Bill of Rights and our, the original Constitution.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more. That's exactly what it's unlawful. It's unconstitutional. It violates universal and natural law, and it violates our free speech and the Bill of Rights, like you were saying.
Mhm.
Uh, and it really is very disturbing. And people need to stand up, and we need to stand up together. We can't stand up alone. They can, one person, and I hate to use the word person, but one man or woman standing alone, it's easy for them to take down. We have got to come together about this, and we need to do it very soon.
I
Because
agree. There is strength in unity. Definitely standing together. Yes.
that is absolutely critical. And then, a man or woman alone can't do it. You have to have, not that the man or woman, one person can change the world. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, for what's going on right now, it's very important for we the people to stand up and to stand together and to not comply. Our
Exactly.
compliance,
That's actually that's a moral duty to not comply when something is wrong. You know, it's like a moral duty to practice civil disobedience and not comply if something is really, really wrong. Because I mean, ultimately, who do we owe our allegiance to? It's our own conscience inside. We're responsible and we need to follow our conscience and we need to, you know, I know that a lot of people are becoming a lot more knowledgeable about the corporation versus the republic,
yes,
uh,
very important
and
information.
the citizenship and the status and the jurisdictions,
Yes.
and information like that is coming out. And I know I went to a group one time and they actually showed us some Supreme Court decisions, which
Mhm.
showed us that there's not just one jurisdiction in the country. There's more than one jurisdiction. There's the jurisdiction of the corporation, and then if you're
Facto.
like an American or American national, I'm not sure what they call it.
American national. It's American national, American state national. I am an American state national.
So am
I
I.
removed myself from the US corporate citizenship. But when you tell somebody that, they think you're they don't understand. It's too bad. There's so much education that needs to go on about these things. I don't know why. I've known about this for years. And that's why I'm already an American state national. But um a lot of people don't know what that means.
Well, some
Um,
people are winning in court because they know what words to use and not use and how to, get back to the higher laws that we're
that's
supposed to adhere to. And they don't fall into the traps of the jurisdiction
there's
traps
so
and so
many
forth.
traps.
Yeah,
There's
there's a lot
so
of
many
traps.
traps. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, because I've looked into it to the extent that I felt like, well, I mean, there were stacks of, you know, the UCC stuff, and you're going, oh my God, there's no way that I can know all this. But it's playing in their system, which is not the way you want to do, which is why there are so many traps, which is why when you pull yourself out from under that jurisdiction, by becoming an American state national, um, you're better off. But all of this is going to change. So I don't,
It is
this,
going to change, but you must feel devastated having that much work taken away suddenly. I mean, that's a lot.
it is, it is. I, every once in a while I just break into tears. Because it is a lot of work, and
That's,
it
yeah,
was something
yeah,
too that when you're
yeah,
feeling down or something, you go, wow, look at what you could go look at what you've all done and say, hey, I did all that,
yeah.
but it's
Your creative products, your intellectual property, it's like that's what you produce. It's almost like having a child, your intellectual products, the things you produce, the things you put a lot of, labor and thought and effort and energy into. I mean, that's you. You put your energy into that.
yes, and I was really going for the humanitarian, healing,
Mhm.
health. I kind of started with nutritional health because that's my background. Um,
Mhm.
and I kind of removed myself from the system because I saw the problems in healthcare. There's no health freedom either. I mean, we are really fighting for freedom in this country to get it back. We need to take it back. We lost it in small little increments, so it wasn't, it's kind of like boiling the frog. You don't start out
Yeah,
boiling.
that's what I was going to say. Exactly. Right,
So
right.
that's what they've done to us. And they always blame humanity for everything, when in fact, they are the ones that have been causing all the problems and then turning around and blaming it on humanity when humanity trusted them and never should have.
Yeah. I mean, freedom starts in the mind. If we retain our own thinking and our critical thinking, and don't fall into the traps of the mind control and the narratives and stuff like that, and that's the thing about censorship. They don't want that. It seems like they don't want that free thinking. They don't want that, I have knowledge that you don't want me to have sort of thing. It's like, we want you to think a certain way or perceive a certain thing. And why do they do that? Is there an agenda?
Oh,
That's sort of
most certainly
rhetorical, right?
is. Yes. That's why they didn't want people to be too close to each other.
Yeah,
They let people die by themselves in nursing homes, which is absolutely horrific. And some of these governors actually, I guess I should be careful what I say. See, and that's the very thing right there that's so upsetting to me. We should be able to talk freely about these things, to be
yeah,
able to critically think about these things, to use common sense about these things, and be able to say, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. And so now they tell us we're watching a movie and they're making things so blatantly crazy that it's like,
yeah, yeah.
how can you miss it? And people are still missing it. But anyway,
Well,
everybody has their own time, I guess. But this is why they're thinking that they need a shocker, a real shocker, and that
yeah.
is
Well, um, sometime we'll talk about my books, and one of the things I write about my books is misplaced trust. So people just start trusting institutions, government officials, media,
authority figures, any
authority
kind of.
figures in the medical institutions. And so, these institutions and experts, people trusted and thought, oh, they have my best interest at heart. When come to find out, that is not the case. That is not necessarily the case.
No, in fact, some of the things that and you probably already know about, and so do a number of other people, but a lot of the people that haven't really woke up to what's going on yet are going to be horrified when they find out
Yeah.
everything, the corruption
Yeah.
and so on. That's part of what they're so afraid of, the cognitive dissonance that people
Yes.
will experience. But at the same time, it has to be done because truth will eventually resonate.
Yeah.
Um,
It's that cognitive dissonance that make people start seeking the truth. They're like, something doesn't feel right here. I want to look deeper into this. I want to find out more. I want to get new sources of information. I want to look beyond, what I've been being told, because something doesn't feel right. And I'm going to start searching for truth. Don't you think that's happened to a lot of people?
Oh, definitely. But one of the things that I've been seeing happening too, for some time now, we as some of the lead researchers and people, putting our face out there and so on, we say that do your own research kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm beginning to wonder, I mean, people should begin to do that, but I bet you there are a lot of people that don't know where to start or how to start. And then with the way big tech has been see, they are trying to they're in on controlling the narrative. And
Absolutely. Absolutely.
so you search something and say you do I mean, everybody says Google it, right? So you Google it. Well, you might have to go to page 9 or 10 before you're going to find something that isn't part of the narrative.
Oh, I'm sure the narrative pushers called fact checkers will come up first,
Oh,
which will
of
totally,
course.
obliterate the truth, in one fell swoop.
So when you see a fact checker that is the truth there, and they're going to
Right.
try to discredit it.
Well, again, you're like, oh, I'm going to, let somebody else think for me. I'm not going to dig in. I'll just listen to a fact checker, but, find out who they're paid, who pays them.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Must they're on a payroll, and it's not the payroll you would want them to be on.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, tell me a little bit more about yourself and like how you got started and like how many followers did you have at the time?
How many videos you mean?
Followers.
Oh, followers. Yes, yes. There was almost 10,000. I was just
Wow.
a little under 10,000, and I was growing
Leaps
it
and
was
bounds.
growing. And I was having people on, I was bringing people on because this is a time when spirituality is really important. Health and healing is really important. And I was bringing those types people for it. And then also I had Carrie on because she is, you know, a wealth of information.
Oh, I
And
know. I love her. I followed her for like 17 years.
exactly. She's like a mentor to me. But anyway, and you know, they took her down a couple years ago, and she had thousands of videos. So, I mean, she's been doing it for, you know, 2 decades practically. Anyway, I remember feeling very bad for her at that time, never realizing that that was eventually going to happen to me too. And
Well,
I
it
didn't.
could happen to me too, but unlike you, you had 10,000. I'm still getting up to 10.
Well, it took me 6 years to get there. If you
Oh boy.
if you were to go back and look at
Wow.
you know, some of my first videos, there were only like maybe 30 viewers or something like that. So it takes time to
Well,
build.
you got to start somewhere. Also,
Back.
I think there are more truth seekers now than there were 6 years ago. I think in the last even 2 or 3 years, the number of people waking up and searching for truth has grown exponentially.
Yes, people are waking up. I mean,
Mhm.
more and more people are seeing more and more of what's going on. They might not see it in all the different areas because it's in all the different areas. It's in all areas.
Oh, it's
But
all connected. It's amazing.
exactly. Once you start really seeing through the lens of even if it's just one area, once you get that area and you start seeing then you start questioning more and more.
Yeah.
And then you start plugging into some of the people that already are aware of a lot of this stuff. And you
Right.
go, oh
First,
my God.
yeah, you go down your own rabbit holes, then you listen to people that have gone down their rabbit holes, and then all this, aggregate of abundant information comes forth. And
And
interestingly, a lot
I
of it was open source. And, since people started researching the truth, some things have been scrubbed, but, astute researchers have found archives and, there's always a way to get that old information back.
yes, it's kind of amazing and it's wonderful to see it happening because people are putting the pieces together. It's like one
Hmm.
big puzzle and we're putting it all together and people are seeing it more and more all the time, which needs to happen because people have to come together, like we were saying,
Hmm.
in unity and realize what you do to somebody else, you're doing to yourself at the same time
Yeah,
because we're all
exactly.
connected.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's best if you can kind of know the truth, observe, and do your best not to react in a bad way because we have to keep ourselves happy and in a higher vibration, in a higher state of mind, in a higher, sometimes I don't know, like to use the word frequency or vibration because people, you know, it's kind of nebulous. You go, well, what does that mean?
Well,
Um,
it's actually what you said, stay happy, stay positive.
yes,
That's keeping your vibration high in simple
exactly.
terms.
Yeah.
Those are
I
higher
like to keep it
vibrations.
simple.
Keeping it simple, you
Yeah.
stay out of fear, you stay out of anxiety, you stay out of, oh no, out of victim consciousness and just go, because if you think about the truth and when you feel it and speak it, uh, truth has a power. It really does. And if you
Yes.
think about, just truth as being light, light is active and has more power than darkness. If you open a door from a light room into a dark room, the light goes into the dark room. There's no dark that goes into the light room. It's the opposite.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
light has the power to
Mhm.
be active.
Very true. Very true.
Mhm.
So not only do we need to unify, we need to be active in getting things right.
Yeah,
Back on
yeah.
track, back the way we want it
I
to
feel
be.
like in 2023, that's like going to be a big theme where people are coming together even more than ever.
And that's gonna be a beautiful thing when we do it.
Yeah,
We are creators and we can be co-creators together and create with
exactly.
they don't
Exactly. And we can solve these problems because, look at Twitter. I've never been on Twitter, but I've heard of, them canceling people and everything, and now, they're getting exposed, and something changed there. Maybe something will change, at that channel
Maybe
for
YouTube
correcting
will
it.
have an experience just like Twitter.
Yeah, yeah. I think
I
it's
think
only a matter of time.
Yeah, I think I put a note out there that say, Elon, why don't you buy YouTube too while you're at it?
Yeah, really, really. Yeah, please help us. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
So,
I believe he's under some degree of control.
yes, 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 yes. We're on the same page there. So you had over 10,000 followers, and did you tell me already how many videos you had up?
Well, I don't remember the exact number to tell you the truth, but I know it was in the nearly 500 or maybe even a few over. Because I was doing a lot of, I've been doing this for at least 5 or 6 years, and
Mhm.
I started just doing one a week, but then I went to, 2, 3, sometimes 4.
And
And
now, what other platforms do you use? How do you get these out once you make them?
Well, see, initially I've learned a lot along the way. And even if you could see the progression, which you can't see now, but you could see the progression in videos from when I first started, uh, not very good quality. And then, it got better and better. And it's better now than it was in the beginning, quite a bit better. And in the meantime, you're kind of building your following based on
Hmm.
um, the kinds of guests that you choose and the kinds of topics that you cover.
Hmm.
And I ultimately, right from the beginning, because I come from the healthcare field, I was a nutritionist, a registered dietitian. I didn't, there's a lot of things in dietetics, for example, that I don't agree with, that I relearned a lot of things
Yeah, yeah.
because it's like being in the conventional medical narrative, because
Hmm.
they basically controlled the
Yeah,
nutrition. And
yeah.
besides that, when you were in a healthcare setting, I don't know if people always complain about the food, but I can tell you the food was the last thing, the last portion of the budget that would get, you know, financed, and they didn't make money back on it as they saw it. So it wasn't, the doctors would get all the big equipment and all that kind of stuff, which really drove up the cost of healthcare. Um, but
There's
anyway,
a lot of corruption in
I
healthcare.
didn't like
I,
that.
I knew that from a long time ago because my grandma was very much into vitamins, juicing, health food. So from a very young age, I had that influence. And so I
They
never,
came out with calling everybody a quack if you didn't
I
go
know.
along with the official.
Oh, yeah, they
um,
obliterated the people that use natural medicine and had cures, especially in the 30s when, well, we know who took over.
Yeah, and then you had the basic four, and then you had the pyramid. I'm going, oh my God.
Yeah,
Um, Very bad advice in my opinion, but anyway, so as I kind of phased out of that, I was, starting to see really what was really going on, and I knew what was going on in healthcare.
yeah, yeah,
I remember seeing people getting certain forms of therapy, and we're not talking about the recent stuff, but the other one that we
yeah.
frequently see. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, my God, don't these doctors see that this doesn't work? I mean, what is it? No, but so what they go back, oh, well, let's mix this poison a little this way and that way, and maybe it'll work better. Anyway,
Not quite sure it was ever really intended to work. Maybe by
yeah,
some people with good hearts that didn't know, but I don't
mhm,
know.
good point. Good point. You could be right. You could be right.
Yeah,
Because it is all about the money. And then I even had the history of working at a mental health. That's a whole nother area. They get all their money from, you know, and uh and they push those, and it does more harm than good
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
in the long run. And they won't change diets or anything like that. They don't even want to hear about it. And your average physician has maybe 4 hours of nutrition in all of their training. So getting them to back you on trying
Yeah.
to make nutritional changes or something.
And
It's
what
much
I
better
heard was,
now.
once they're out of school and they're practicing, they get their information from the representatives from the pharmaceutical companies.
Exactly. And I always felt most mothers and women that have done any reading in nutrition recipes and so on know more than your average doctor.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've known
But
people like
they'll
that.
be able to convince you that they know more than you.
So after
Mhm.
that, like, did you find people, maybe like Carrie or other people that you started listening to their, what kind of research did you do and where did that take you?
I did listen to people like Carrie Cassidy. I listened to um I can't remember the names of all the people, but I started listening to different videos and started reading different um alternative journals, green medicine, different approaches. Alternative medicine basically was what everybody was calling it when I started, or complementary. That was kind of a step up from alternatives, because it was like, oh well, we accept this, but you got to do our way first and foremost. But anyway, and
Mhm.
then I was interested in herbs and see, my whole channel, besides being Gail of Gaia, is earth. Gaia is earth. Some people
Yeah,
don't know that. And it's because I love nature and I know that nature heals. And
yeah.
I always encourage people to go into nature whenever they can.
I
Um,
love nature. I do.
I do too. I can be all upset and all frazzled from what's going on or whatever, and I can go out and sit in nature, and there's many beautiful places here. I love it, and just heal and feel
Hmm.
better. Go home
Hmm.
with a smile on my face when I came and I was ready to cry or was crying. Who knows?
I know, me too. Me too. Yeah. I had one poignant example and my experience changed so much. I was going through such a bad day and I went out to a park in nature and I was inspired to write a poem called Green Healing. I'll show it to you sometime.
Oh wow, that's well, and that's what free range is freedom.
Hmm.
And then Lana, when she captured that in with the horses running and the wolf running,
I
that was
love that intro. I just love it. I told my son about it because he does video production. I said,
oh
please
really.
make me an intro as nice as Gail's.
Yeah, I really like that a lot. But YouTube kept dinging me and saying that the copyright, and she had paid for that, so that it's just they were after me.
Well, see,
It's
that's
like
what happens.
I've been
Yeah.
running the two strikes for a long time, because what I do is I try to be really careful and try to get back down to one strike, because I didn't care if they gave me another strike, because I was going to put the truth out there regardless.
Yeah.
And
Well, how long does a
they
strike
got me.
last?
They got me. They finally just got me. Pardon?
I've never had a strike. How long does a strike last? Does it go away after a period of time?
The show? What do you mean?
A strike. If you get a strike,
Oh,
how
okay.
does it go away eventually?
I had two strikes. You
Okay.
cannot post anything for 2 weeks, but
Oh,
then you're on probation like for 90 days.
okay. Well, when the probation ends, do your strikes go away?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It takes 90 days for each strike to go away.
Oh, I see. I see.
Excuse me.
Yep. Well, and I was also wondering, once you have your videos up, like, do you share them on Telegram or other platforms, or how do you kind of spread the link or the message to your videos?
Excuse me. Okay. What I do is I started using a new program. I used to use Zoom like this, but I
Mm.
stopped using Zoom, and I moved to a program through learning along the way. And I worked with a guy named Paul for a while, who was very helpful. And he told me about this particular channel. Hang on.
You good?
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
My throat. Anyway, so learn it, and I moved to this program called Restream, and it will You can record only and then put it up live if you want to, or just download it and put it up individually. But the beauty of doing it live, excuse me, is that we can, it goes out to Facebook, Twitter, used to go out to YouTube, it won't anymore. Rumble, Odyssey, and now Telegram.
Wow. You mean automatically?
And so automatically, yeah. So
Oh
what
my
happens
gosh.
is at the same time that you're doing, like right now, if we were on Restream,
Yeah.
you could have this streaming on your channel at the same time that it's streaming on my channel.
So like it's showing up, it's like streaming, it means it's showing up on in real time.
They call it pairing. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh, and that's how you get people on to make the comments, and you can
yes,
respond.
yes. Here's the problem now, though, that now that they took my YouTube channel down, Restream only really gathers the questions from YouTube. So
Mhm.
unless I have another computer with a page open that I can look and see if anybody's putting questions on Rumble,
Mm.
I won't be able to do the questions as readily as I was able to do them before, unfortunately, because it's not on YouTube.
Now, can you live stream on Rumble?
Can I? Yeah, yeah. You do have to pay for Rumble too. I mean, all
Oh,
the
do
stuff
you?
costs. Yeah,
Oh,
$25 for Rumble, to go live,
for
and
each time or per month or,
yeah, every month, every month.
oh, 25 a month
Yeah,
to be able to live stream.
yeah, and then Restream costs money too.
Oh,
So
okay.
around 50. So, and that's, and then there's, website pay. I mean, there's all kinds of expenses involved.
Yeah, I know. I've been paying them. I've been getting some extra plugins and software because I'm going to start doing some online courses. So I've been investing also, getting set up.
Yes, I would really like to be able to do that myself. I did put out something on Ko-fi, for, asking for donations for business
Hmm.
stuff. So there's a lot of, I could do a lot more if I had more resources. I would certainly like to get my webpage professionally done. I've been waiting for someone pro bono. I mean, it's funny, it's hard to get anybody to do that. I've been doing this unpaid for years. And I really, not that I don't want to pay somebody, not that I don't think their work is worth it or anything like that, but sometimes you just don't have it. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I really feel
Well,
like with a website and products that I know are good, from my background and what I know, and I could, do a lot better. But first, I got to get it
yeah,
done.
yeah. I think that truth is becoming ever more valuable to many more people. And I bet there's a way that there's going to be some more like rewards or revenue coming back for, all these people that have done all this work for so many years just out of the goodness of their heart. You know what I mean? Like you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would be
That would be
nice. I'd be happy if they just increased our social security because that's how I've been, and I don't have any pension or anything like that. So, and
mm.
they've taken my credit away because of a student loan. So I'm just, if they ever go into that social credit score, I'll probably be asking other people to buy my food. I shouldn't say that. That's probably bad to say that. I didn't really mean that, but
Well, we're not gonna go along with that. I mean, we don't have to. We have power, we have free will choice,
I'm being facetious anyway, so that's okay.
Yeah, I know. I joked about that actually myself with someone the other day, and they were like, no, it's not that bad. Oh, I know what they were saying. It was for car insurance. They were saying that I could get a discount if they put a monitor in my car. I said, monitor in my car? Are you kidding me?
Monitor for what?
I never heard of it before. I guess they can monitor, I don't know, stepping on the brakes, stepping on the gas. It's surveillance. It's
Shit,
data collection. It's surveillance. I don't go for any of that.
no, It is surveillance, exactly.
And the discount was huge. I said, in fact, that's what I brought it up. I go, next thing you know, it's going to be tied into the social credit score. And the guy said, oh, it's not that bad. And I said, does anybody actually go along with this? And he said, one person did. One.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what
Well, uh, there have been people went along with things that I was surprised that they went along with anyway.
well, I tell you what, the world is changing and it's going to be changing big.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really believe
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. You
And,
know, we're
for the
here to
better.
absolutely. I know, because we're raising the frequency to love. We're unifying. We care about one another. We want to help one another. And it's only the people that want to destroy other people or damage, or, you know, they call them the baddies, I guess, but they're, they have their own agenda and they're selfish. So no, there's more people that are in service to others, at that higher vibration. And that is the majority of the people, like it or not. That's the way it is.
Especially of humanity. I think part of the problem is, as far as humanity goes, in terms of the total population, we're a relatively small percentage. A lot of people are what they call fillers, hybrids.
Well, again, I think that the waking up process is accelerating.
Yes.
Waking up and the transformation of consciousness, like transformation of consciousness. What I mean is, like, you develop your consciousness, you develop your intuition, you develop your conscience, you get the perception of what's true and what's not. Cognitive dissonance is part of that. Intuition is part of that. Being aware of the truth, from inside. Something feels right, something doesn't feel right. I think more and more people are having these deeper perceptions, which is causing the inner knowing of truth to come forth, and the cognitive dissonance, because, in a way, I mean, we're all connected. And so we're raising the vibration of everyone, and that cognitive dissonance for people who may not be awake to much truth, they're still feeling like something's not right. And I've just seen people say, oh, well, and everybody talks about it in terms of waking up. They're like, oh, I woke up when such and such happened. It could have been
It's
like
funny.
you know,
Different triggers for different people.
it could have been a planned operation, or something,
Really.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, anyway, is there anything else you want to share? If you could reach your audience that were on YouTube, that was on YouTube right now, what would you say to them?
I would ask people on my followers and subscribers on YouTube to please move over to Rumble or Odyssey. And for Rumble, it's just rumble.gailofgaia.com. And for Odyssey, it's just video.gailofgaia.com, because I got a shortened link.
Mhm. Well,
Otherwise,
when I
Gail.
go to your Rumble channel, the channel name says Gail of Gaia, and I put that in the search thing, and your channel comes right up.
Good. That's all you have to do, then, because I use that handle for everything. That's
Mhm,
my handle.
mhm. That's
And
good to know.
yeah, so all the other channels, like I am on BitChute too, but I have to upload on BitChute. So sometimes, I used to have some help that did that,
Mm,
and but I think she had some, you know, people, everybody has their own thing that they have to do too, and to survive, and that's what, it's a lot of work doing all
yeah,
this,
yeah,
all the
yeah.
uploading
I
and
watch BitChute a lot, but I've never opened a channel there or tried it. I tried YouTube and Rumble, and that's about it for now.
what about huge tube?
I've heard of it, but I haven't joined it or uploaded anything.
I have uploaded a few, but again, I only upload to those channels when I have some help. And I'm always asking for volunteers, because if more people would be willing to help, it's less work for everybody. And we still get the message out, and you're still part of getting truth out. to others. You know, that's why I encourage people to, you know, if you're capable of helping and you want to help, get in touch with me. It's,
Yeah,
you know, if you can't help that way, I really appreciate any contributions or donations, because
that's good.
I'm just, yeah,
Another way people can help too is prayer. Prayer always works.
yes,
And
it does.
you know, I pray that all of your followers find you, you know, on Rumble and wherever you are. And you know, that maybe people, one thing will lead to another, and all your people from, you know, Telegram will, you know, get the message out, or, you know, any other social media that you use.
Right. So I would ask anybody who's willing, who did, you know, was following my shows, to please support me and um, tell others about the channel. So on Rumble, one thing that's good about Rumble is now we'll be able to speak freely and not have to worry about it, not have to say, well, I can't say this word, or so, well, you know what I mean, this year, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
I don't have to do that. And
yeah,
I really appreciate that a lot.
yeah. Speak in words instead of sign language.
And then what I do when I'm done with the videos, just to show people, you know, what's all involved, in order, you know, you can do a video, but it doesn't do any good if nobody sees it, right? So you
Right.
have to try to market it a little bit. And, you know, you can put it on Facebook, or you can put it on Getter, or you can put it on True Social, and you can put it on
Hmm.
Gaia, all those different platforms.
Ah, interesting. Yes, yes.
Yeah, and then there's a couple of veteran platforms that I do on too. It's American Patriot Community Forum, something like that. And then Veterans Brigade. I always put my videos there too. And I used to work at a veterans hospital, so I have a special place there. Some I saw
Hmm.
them hurry some people along, if you know what I mean, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, nice. Well, I'm so sorry that happened to you. I know that if you lose a lot of work, it's just, I know it was shocking and, you know, devastating and everything else, but I hope that, you know, I know you're a strong person. I know you're a strong soul. I know you'll pick yourself up by the bootstraps. I know you'll carry on, and your success will, you know, just continue to escalate. I'm sure of that because, you know, I found your channel. I love your work. You do a great job. You have a good heart, and nothing but good can come of this.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's been a little causing a little misty eyes and so on, but I'll get past it, and I will move on and move up.
Yes,
And
Gail will prevail. That's the new.
there we go. Yes.
Gail
Thank
will
you.
prevail.
That's a good one. Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on my channel, and we will share this video far and wide and get the word out for you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'll see you soon.
All right. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.